Yes, we're on time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern fan channel. I've been thinking about this since yesterday, man. I was binge watching old episodes of Ted Lasso last night. And, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like at 2 a.m., by the time I finished season one, I don't know. It was just one of them. It's one of those days. I just needed to watch a coach last in his job for a long period of time. So I, tuned into Ted Lasso, and it made me sadder. It made me sadder. I think Bayern made a very interesting decision, but look, Thomas Tuchel just got announced. He's coming here. This thing that this nightmare. Let me be honest with you. I'm not for this, but I hope you guys come back here in a few weeks, in a few months, and go, oh, we told you about Tuchel. Because there's some of you obviously saying Tuchel is the guy. He's going to come in here into this club and do something great. And, I respect that. I respect that a lot. But I'm just pissed. I'm just pissed I'll be honest. I'm not giving Tuchel too much time if he makes one lineup mistake, because here's what I'm going to read to you. I'm going to read to you why the board sacked Tuchel. There have been some leaks. I don't know. But look, this is the announcement. Tuchel's coming to Bayern. There's nothing we can do about it. Now let me start reading the why. So these are the three reasons Bayern sacked Nagelsmann. Yesterday, I thought it had to have been a personal issue. Like Julian walked into the office wearing a Ku Klux Klan outfit. That's genuinely the kind of thing I was thinking about. Someone says reactionary fan base. Reactionary. Our board, whatever. Whatever, man. You do you. Think what you got to think, right? Oh, shoot. They finally gave me the ability to move this stuff. Thank you to StreamYard, man. StreamYard. Okay, so lack of consistency, especially in the Bundesliga, dropping 10 points in 2023 and being overtaken by Dortmund. The bosses estimated that the season's goals were at risk. Is this true? Yes, we did drop 10 points. Totally forgot about that. I mean, Union Berlin were 9 points clear at some point. Dortmund were above us. We were struggling. We were drawing a lot of games. But I feel like that was a long time ago, That was a long time ago. There was literally a few weeks where we were just drawing games consecutively. I mean, the first leg against Barcelona at home, we weren't favorites because everyone just saw us as this drawing team. We were drawing a lot of games. So I can understand the board at that time thinking maybe sacking Nagelsmann is a good idea. Then we're in a different year. We lost one game. If we didn't lose to Leverkusen, would everything be fine? Would everything be great? That's we didn't even lose to PSG away. Let's say we lost to PSG 2-0 away from home and then beat them by a tight margin. Then I'd be like, okay, maybe they got a point. They got a little bit of a point here. So, okay. So Nagelsmann did not have the team behind him, apparently. On the contrary, they were against him. The leading players didn't trust him anymore. By leading players means Muller, Kimmich. Well, I read a story that Kimmich was one of the Nagelsmann advocates. So Kimmich liked Nagelsmann. Well, Nagelsmann really trusted Kimmich, gave him a big role in the midfield. So I'm guessing Goretzka. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I read something from Goretzka. Hey, Pavard on Instagram. Thanks for the ride, coach. So sad. Sad, man. It's sad. All right. This is what Goretzka said, that some people, have their eyebrows raised. Thank you very much for your cooperation. A cooperation that has been characterized by trust, fun, and mutual appreciation. You're a great person, a coach to whom we all wish from the bottom of our hearts only the best. It's up to us to complete your work successfully. Thanks for everything. This is the biggest backhand. Bro, I'd be so pissed if someone told me this. I just got fired, and you're going to tell me we're going to complete your work. I'd be pissed, man. I'd be angry. I'd be fuming, bro. Anyways, so that's what Goretzka said. But apparently, the leading players like Goretzka didn't trust him anymore. So on the one hand, hey, thank you, coach. You're great. We love you. On the other hand, oh yeah, good luck. You're going to get fired, right? Someone saying the biggest loss is Dino Tepalovic, and that's probably a good point. This is an assistant coach that, I mean, he was actually our coach for one game because Nagelsmann had COVID and he was at home. Yeah, Dino spoke French, German, of course. I think he spoke some Spanish. So I don't know if anyone in our team speaks Spanish, but let's just say he was everywhere. Like he kind of just made everyone feel welcome. And you kind of need a guy like that, you know, who speaks multiple languages. I'm guessing, of course, Thomas Tuchel is bringing everyone on his team with him. I don't know who they are specifically. Number 3, most important point. Bayern bosses were determined not to lose out on Tuchel again. They were aware of interest from Tottenham and Real Madrid and therefore decided to act quickly before Tuchel was off the market. See that? What do you mean? Because 4 days ago, Herbert Hainer was saying how much the board just trusted Nagelsmann and had confidence in him, right? And then one loss happens and we're second in the Bundesliga. Like, let's say we won that game and then lost a different game in the future at a more important point. Like, let's say 2 days before Man City. Would they still have sacked Nagelsmann? That's my question. Would this board still have done that? Thomas Tuchel, I can understand why Tuchel has such a reputation in the game. He got PSG to a Champions League final. But their run, bro, they had Atalanta and they also had Leipzig. Like, bro, they could have gotten to that final anyhow. Like, it was easy work. It was light work for them. Okay, fair enough, right? They got PSG to the final. I guess the Chelsea Champions League run was really special because they beat some big teams. Well, was it Real Madrid they beat? But it was Real Madrid where it was like, it wasn't like Real Madrid, you know, Los Blancos. It was like Los Greycos, like gray. It wasn't the whites. It was gray. It wasn't the Real Madrid we know that Chelsea beat. But they still did it, you know. It's still tough to win the Champions League. And they beat Man City in the finals. So I believe there was a period where they played City once in the league and then played them again in the Champions League and then the second leg. And he outcoached Pep 3 times. So, you know, the run to the Champions League was seen as good and great. Yeah, man. And he beat City in the final with Timo Werner. You're right. You're right about that. And Kai Havertz, who wasn't in the greatest form. Tuchel played a 4 at the back at PSG. He can play both 3 at the back and 4 too. Okay. Maybe that means he's adaptable, you know, flexible, just like Nagelsmann. See, the reason the title is structured the way it is if Tuchel doesn't win the Champions League, right? We did this for nothing. That's my biggest concern. Because if he just comes in and wins the league and DFB Pokal, not a single Bayern fan will say, "Oh, Nagelsmann couldn't have done that." Like, that's the thing. So the board's making a huge risk, guys. If this pays off and Tuchel comes in and wins it, it's going to be seen as the greatest sporting decision ever. Like, Nagelsmann, you know, made this team and Tuchel. Yeah, it's going to be seen as a great decision. But for now, I got a lot of question marks. I don't know about Tuchel, man. And here's another thing that I needed to mention from Tasto FCB on Twitter. Bayern managed to do something even crazier, even more crazy. So apparently, Nagelsmann was getting paid $25 million, and his wages over his 5-year contract were $40 million, right? God dang. So over his 5 years that he was going to be here, he was going to make $40 million in total. Dang, man, that's a lot of money. And his assistants, coaches, right? His assistants, of course, we also paid their compensation from RB Leipzig. Oh, actually, fun fact. We were supposed to play 2 friendlies against Leipzig if Nagelsmann was still our coach. And then each time Leipzig would get paid $5 million from the tickets and that was their payment for giving us Nagelsmann. But we paid 15 million on top, and then the 5 million for each friendly twice, so 10 million. That's going to equal 25 million. So it wasn't just straight up 25 million, but 15 million still paid out to Leipzig, and 40 million in wages. So we have paid close to 20 million or 25 million. And by the way, freaking forgot to mention this, boys. We're paying his wages, we're going to keep paying Nagelsmann. Gosh, man. And then we'll complain about how we can't compete with the Premier League because with Corona and we're broke 50+1. Like, that's what Herbert Hayner's going to come out and say. But you're paying Nagelsmann's wages and you sacked him. And you're going to keep paying it till the summer until he finds a new club. Nagelsmann could realistically just sit at home for 2 years. His contract says he gets paid by Bayern. Unless, of course, there's a negotiation to terminate it, which we pay out, his release clause. That's what happens. So, his assistant coaches, and this is another thing, get paid 15 million. I've never heard of this. 15 million in the 5 year in their contract. Some of them aren't here for 5 years; they're here for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So Zembrod, Topmola, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I don't know, man. I mean, it sounds like a stupid financial decision we just made, but I wanted to read something else because there's an even different perspective that I didn't think about. And it's something I mentioned here yesterday. Like, I was trying to rationalize in my head why Nagelsmann could have gotten sacked if it wasn't performances. And it literally came out, right? Oh, man. Okay, let me read what Oliver Kahn says, and then we'll read through more. But you're going to be surprised by what I read. Okay, so here's what Oliver Kahn says. Our CEO, if you don't know, I don't know. You living under a rock, Patrick Starr. When we signed Nagelsmann for FC Bayern in the summer of 2021, we were convinced that we would work with him on a long-term basis. Yeah, no cap. That's not long-term, though. And that was the goal of all of us right into the end. Julian shares our aspiration to play successful and attractive football. But now we have come to the realization that the quality of our squad, despite winning the league last year, has shown less and less often. After the World Cup, we played less and less successfully and attractively. It's a fair point. So why are we bringing Tuchel then? Bro, he don't play, Pep Guardiola ball. You know what this board wants? They want Pep ball with Carlo Ancelotti wins, like in the UCL. Or, that's not a great example. Zidane wins, like a three-peat. That's what they want. They want Pep, beautiful, attractive football, and then big trophies winning, like every second. They want us to, I don't know. It's a very, you got to have a balance, right? I think what Nagelsmann tried to do is give our team flexibility in big games by allowing us to, just defend more compact and then, try to play in moments, like 10 minutes, have a 15-minute period of dominance. We won against Inter Milan. We didn't even have to leave first gear. We were just comfortable. And that's what Nagelsmann really gave us. He gave us calmness. But now I feel like, and another thing I criticized Nagelsmann over, which I didn't think would ever get him sacked, was we can't play out of the back. If Tuchel needs to figure that out, because we're getting pressed by Bochum, Bruff. I can't even say their name correctly. But we can't play out of the back. Goodbye Champions League clean sheets. You know who you're talking about? We're talking about Thomas Tuchel over here, man. This guy's defensive as hell. Anyways, let's keep reading. The strong fluctuations in performances put our goals in danger this season, but also beyond this season. That's why we reacted now. Personally, and on behalf of FC Bayern, I'd like to thank Julian and his coaching team and wish everyone the best of luck for the season, for the future. Bro, if this turns out good, Mane just scored. Good for him, man. He found his level. Who's Senegal playing, bro? Found his level, Sadio Mane. Oh, yeah, Mozambique, bro. Oh, yeah. Yeah, great. What What a freaking Bundesliga goal for him in 2023. What a goal. What a non-offside moment. Oh, there's still time. If there's VAR, it's probably offside. Anyways. San Brazo says, this is the most difficult decision of my life as sporting director at Bayern. I've had an open relationship with Julian. Y'all been smashing each other? All right, whatever. I regret the separation from Bro, that ain't the first separation you went through. That was out of pocket. But after a thorough analysis of the sporting development of our team, especially since January, and with the experience of the second half of the previous season, we've now decided together to release Nagelsmann. I'm very grateful to Julian for what he's done for FC Bayern, and I wish him all the best. Brazo's the guy that really brought Nagelsmann here, so this is a ruthless decision. Do you guys think this decision would have been made if Brazo was still sitting on the bench, even as a sporting director? Now I feel like by sitting in the stands, he sees a different picture than official. Thomas Tuchel will lead his first training session at Bayern on Monday. There's so much news, man. Okay. Now, here. So one of the main reasons. So there was a theory yesterday that Nagelsmann, he had told Real Madrid he'd go to them in 2024 or next year. And everyone thought that was why, Bayern acted quickly. But really what looks like happened is Tuchel was getting interest from Real Madrid and, Tottenham and some other clubs. And we decided to step in and get Tuchel fast. So technically we're the ones that wanted a different coach. And Nagelsmann wasn't trying to leave either. So here's Nagelsmann leaving. But where's the freaking story I was telling you guys about, man? The real reason he got sacked. Because of the lack of development in players. Now, Kimmich says he's an outstanding coach, top 3 coaches. So that means Kimmich has been coached by Jupp Heynckes, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, Niko Kovac. Damn, man, that one guy's been coached by like 8 people. And Hansi Flick. 5 coach. Who's 5. Well, Yogi Low. Yeah. We add him in there. 6 coaches, and Nagelsmann's top 3. So, and we're not saying Jupp Heynckes is elite, of course. And Kimmich's best moments, in my opinion, came against Jupp, or it came with Jupp. Big Champions League semifinal goal against Real Madrid. It was crazy. All right, now Hansi Flick says nothing has been confirmed yet, so he won't talk about it. And he was surprised by the headline. So everyone's surprised by this, right? Okay, now. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We're paying his salary, right? Until both sides come to an agreement. I mean, we probably will. Okay. All right. This is it right here. This is where, the real crux of the issue comes in. What we were saying yesterday seems like it panned out to be true. So Bayern's original plan was to finish the season with Nagelsmann, and then, depending on the results, consider the Tuchel option. However, the fact that other clubs are showing interest in Tuchel made the bosses decide to act quickly. The people in charge want a new impetus and trust Tuchel to win the treble, a feeling that they no longer had with Nagelsmann. Okay. All right. This is important. Nagelsmann did not fully lose the dressing room. The coach and big parts of the team were completely caught off guard by the news. Nagelsmann had important advocates in the team, such as Kimmich, but there were tensions and no harmony on a human level with some players. So Nagelsmann really took after Pep here. Pep, Flick, and Jupp all won a treble, meaning that Kimmich thinks that Nagelsmann is better than at least one treble-winning manager. Yeah, Pep did win a treble here. Yeah, of course, the Super Cup, DFL Super Cup, the DFB Pokal, and of course, how could I forget the Bundesliga? Yeah, that's the treble, right? No, Pep didn't win a freaking treble. So he thinks, at least tactically, that Nagelsmann has taught him a lot. That's what he means. But I don't know why you think Pep won a treble. No, he didn't. So he didn't lose the dressing room fully, but there was no harmony. So on the human level, It just wasn't there. Nagelsmann worked a lot on tactics, but found it difficult to moderate the squad. So I feel like what was happening was just a bombardment of players with instructions. Like every player just felt like, oh, it's so much learning, right? And they just fell out with him. The substitute players often complained about how Nagelsmann dealt with them. He wouldn't justify his decisions and would only speak to the established players. I can understand someone like Gravenberch feeling a certain way, or Matisse Tau, even though he's 17. Of course, you're like Gravenberch has had a great game in the DFB Pokal, didn't start the next. Goretzka was out, and guess who started in midfield? Was it Musiala? Like, there was no trust in Gravenberch. But here's the thing: like, is Tuchel this youth developer either? Like, we'll see. Okay, now keep reading because this is important. Because this is exactly what I said yesterday. The general opinion is that with the exception of Jamal Musiala, who had already been introduced by Hansi Flick, no youngster developed into a regular player under Nagelsmann. And this is one of the biggest things about Nagelsmann. Like, he promoted these young players, but I wonder if that was more to do with his style or RB Leipzig's tendency and proclivity to developing future talents that they could sell for future profits. So Nagelsmann was almost forced to, play 15-year-olds and, do all that Leipzig child trafficking, right? Trafficking children from Ghana and making them into footballers, right? So I wonder if that's what Nagelsmann was forced to do as opposed to decided upon himself to do at Leipzig. Because he is known for, developing Upamecano. He is known for, but is that really what he did, or was he forced to? Okay. Matisse Tau, Ryan Gravenberch, who were brought in from other clubs, as well as homegrown talents, Paul Vanner and Arjan Ibrahimovic, hardly got a chance. And that's another thing. I said this. Why is Paul Vanner still playing second-team football? This guy should be our Phil Foden, in the sense that he's getting playtime, he's getting opportunities to prove himself. Paul Vanner has never started a game. You could have 4 injuries and he's on the bench. And here's the thing. Arjan Ibrahimovic had one little cameo debut. Looked great. Him and Matisse Tau looked great against Salzburg. I thought, oh, man, okay, 5 minutes here. But no, it's the same lineup every week. Even if Muller's injured, it's just no youngsters. And I believe Nagelsmann just didn't trust in them. Nagelsmann placed more emphasis on results than on talent development. You can do both. So Nagelsmann made that mistake. And that was one thing I criticized him for last season. I said, I want to see more Vidovic. Vidovic is on loan right now, and he's not really developing. I mean, maybe his character is developing a little bit, but we should, guys, we haven't produced a single homegrown talent since Kimmich wasn't homegrown. I mean, he developed his world-class ability here, but no, he's a Leipzig, Stuttgart product, right? Gnabry, Arsenal product. I mean, he moved around academies a lot. Sané, Schalke product. Goretzka, Schalke product. Musiala, Chelsea product. Who's our homegrown talent that became world-class? The last ones, like Tony Kroos or Philip. Oh yeah, Muller, Alaba. Yeah, those are that's like 10, 15 years ago, dog. The last time we created a world-class player from our academy was 15 years ago. Muller's been here for 3 decades now, I feel like, bro. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, dude. We used to create real bowlers consistently. It's been almost 13 years since we had our own player come out of our own academy. So the board obviously looked at that and went, Nagelsmann, we trusted you to develop, Paul Vanner, Arjan Ibrahimovic. The only young player under Nagelsmann that has really shined is Stanisic, the most basic footballer we have from our academy. Stanisic isn't going to be world-class. He's going to be a utility player. And I love him for that. He really believes in himself to be that kind of, option that we need. And I don't mind. I respect that. but he ain't on no, Davies level. Alphonso Davies came from freaking some Vancouver Whitecaps. Bro, we had Canada's producing more talents than Bayern's academy. And you know what the worst thing is? We poured millions into our academy. We could have bought some world-class player, but we spent that money investing into our youth academy. The Bayern campus renovations were over 50 million, I believe, like 50 million euros or 25 million. I might be mistaken. I might be doubling the figure. So the board looked at this and the other issues that we talked about and said, should cut ties with Nagelsmann. And by the way, Jamal Musiala hasn't really improved under Nagelsmann. And I feel like, if anything, a lot of our players' games have become more robotic, like less flair and less passion and more, look at Matisse Tell when he scored that goal with his left foot. Nagelsmann should have celebrated that. But in the media, he goes out on a press conference and says, Tell should have passed. He scored a goal. Like, you should be happy. Like, go behind the scenes and say, man, Tell, next time you don't pass that, I'll slap you. Like, he should say that, right? But then in the media say, what a great goal. That's how managers manage the dressing room. Because Tell's going to be like, come on, I scored a goal, and you're going to say that to the media. But say it behind closed doors in the dressing room where everything's between the players. And then in the media, defend your players, right? So Musiala done a big step up under Nagelsmann. No, he just did that's what bowlers do. They just play. Like, Musiala is a bowler. But, he started running again? W's in chat. Jamal Musiala is running again. Okay. So back to your comment. I understand what you feel. Musiala didn't step up under Nagelsmann. What happened is he just started getting more play time. He didn't improve. He forced his way into the team. There was a point where Musiala would come off the bench, do really well, and just not start. The only reason he's playing now is because other players declined, and then he just started playing so well, you're not going to drop him. So now it's like Musiala or nothing. Jamal Musiala didn't improve. Did he improve his vision? Like, his ability to pick out passes? No, he always had it. I feel like Musiala worked on himself more, during his off season than he did with, the coach and the system making him a better footballer, right? Also, other players that didn't improve, or stars that we signed that just were not getting the best out of, apart from De Ligt, who I feel like is just, I feel like every player is just pushing themselves to get better. Like, Sané will have a few bad games and he pushes himself. We don't have a consistent structure. We're changing formations and systems every week. A lot of teams have the problem where their coach there's no system. Like Conte, he has a system, but it's just not working, and he never changes it and makes it better. Nagelsmann has too many damn systems. We have a luxury of problems where the players know how to play 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-2-2. We would play a formation. It would work for 5 games, and then we switch it. Gravenberch got 0 minutes. Exactly. Why did Ryan Gravenberch, a starter in the Champions League for Ajax, we're acting like this is some fragile little child that has never played an important game in his life? Gravenberch played against Dortmund and he cooked last season. So Nagelsmann made that mistake, and he paid for it. And I don't believe the board should have sacked him. I believe they should have had a conversation behind closed doors about all these things, because I feel like he could have changed it. He could have started playing more youngsters, right? Nah. See, you're saying Musiala stepped up under Nagelsmann. That's true. But did he step up because Nagelsmann improved him? Or did he step up because he just played his way into the team? That's not rubbish I'm speaking. That's one, with the exception of Jamal Musiala, who had already been introduced by Flick, no youngster developed into a regular player under Nagelsmann. And I'm making the point that Nagelsmann didn't make Musiala into the player he is. Musiala was already that player. He just started playing more games. Last season, Musiala was playing number 6 whenever he started. So look, and this is a learning experience for Julian Nagelsmann. I don't know why it's an obscene thing when this is why they sacked him. They clearly saw something. Musiala literally has a freaking brain coach. The kid is a demon. He improved himself. No one did anything. Like, yeah, Musiala just continues his natural development. Yeah, the kid's a freaking demon. He has a brain coach. He worked with a brain coach that trained his brain to dribble faster. Like, come on. Don't tell me I'm speaking rubbish. The bosses would have overlooked the lack of development of young players if the team had performed more consistently under Nagelsmann. They considered that the coach did not manage to get the most out of the team and see him mainly to blame. But the players have to take some blame as well, because there were games where they were just messing around. Just messing around. So those are the main reasons they sacked Nagelsmann, and that big one was the player development. The 10 points dropped at the beginning of the season. It's a lot, but it's kind of sad, you know? Isn't it crazy that Nagelsmann was skiing and he got this bad news? He was skiing. What's with our players in skiing? Neuer went skiing and busted up his hamstring. Oh, France are playing, and Upamecano and Coman is. Oh my gosh, I'm wasting time doing a live stream when I could be watching French football. Oh shoot, man. Yo, I'm about to watch that. Oh, it's starting in okay. Upamecano and Coman did start. What about Delay? Oh shoot, you got that virus? Dang it, man. Gravenberch is on the bench. He was called up from the under-21s. Yeah, we got Xavi Simons playing more games than Gravenberch in his national team. When I feel Gravenberch is on a significantly higher level in terms of his development. Oh my God, dude, Xavi Simons was like 5'4" when I last looked at him. This guy's 5'10", and he has 13. Yo, he might be an option, man. Yo, no way we keep him at PSV Eindhoven. Oh, I'm saying no way we keep him up. Do you guys think Thomas Tuchel has bigger pull than? I mean, winning a Champions League is automatically like going to make players respect you because you've been there, done that. Especially when the team you're coaching, you also lost to in the final and came back and won it again. Tuchel was literally in 2 finals in 2 years. Like how actually like respectable is that? I would argue our Champions League run has that asterisk next to it because literally no one was in the stadium. I mean, it was still like tough, right? But imagine if we won it in traditional, like the way we beat Chelsea in that first leg, 3-0 in their own stadium. Imagine if we could replicate that in front of, 40 billion fans in the Allianz Arena. Like when we played the away leg a few months after when COVID happened, no one was in the stadium. It was just so sad. I think we can have a crazier and better Champions League run, and we're on the verge of that. We can go to Man City and even beat them. Tuchel is going to come in, and I think Thomas Tuchel is a better big game manager than Nagelsmann. Well, duh. I just don't know about like his system and how it's going to translate to our players. But someone did say Tuchel played a back for PSG. So let's see if that works. If that that's something that works at Bayern. But his last formation was like at Chelsea, of course, was a 3 at the back. I don't want that. I don't want Pavard, playing a 3-4-2-1. I don't want that anymore, man. I'm so tired of it. So tired of it. We'll see what happens. His average tenure at clubs is 2.5 years. Can you guys believe that? This guy lasts 3-4-3. Yeah. Oh, flip, bro. Musiala, right wing back, will slap. Oh. You're saying it, but he might think that's the way, man. Why am I looking at the French lineup? Julian, don't ruin me. I don't want a back 3 here, man. I really hate it. I despise the back 3 so much. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's not a done deal, right? Dude, they sacked him at Chelsea when he had more wins than freaking Graham Potter's gotten, probably. Yeah, he shouldn't have been sacked at Chelsea. I feel like he would have gotten the team flowing at some point. But I mean, he got him a Champions League with Mason Mount and Timo Werner, and so yeah, it was a pretty big win. And he beat Real Madrid. He beat a lot of teams convincingly. Like it wasn't a fluke. Like Chelsea genuinely played well in that campaign. But we have to see what we have to see how this ends, you know. And he won a Super Cup. I don't know who he beat to win the Super Cup. He won the world's best club coach. Yeah, got Chelsea top 4. Dude, I'm trying to rationalize this to myself. Dude, he's a Champions League finalist, a 2-time finalist. So, come on, man. And it's he lost to Hansi Flick. You can't fault him. You know, everyone was going to lose to that Hansi Flick team. But I am curious. I'll be honest. I need to analyze Tuchel's system to really understand what he's about. Because otherwise, I'm just being annoying. Right? Leao for Gnabry, Vitz for Muller, Cancelo for Pavard. Nah, keep Rafael Leao out of my club, man. These freaking speed merchants. I want Varaskelia, man. Like that's who I need here. I want ballers at this club. Rafael Leao is a pace merchant. He's like a freaking Wish Mbappe. Just pushes down the line. No real like high technical levels of ability. We need Maradona at this club, man. Maradona. He's the kind of player that comes in and has that Ribery effect. He would be Frank Ribery with less injuries, man. Let's try and get that guy. 12 freaking goals, 12 assists. God, man. Imagine that guy cooking for us with Musiala. Oh, man, they would cook so much with Davies overlapping. Instead, we got Gnabry, Fat Gnabry, man. This guy's eating McDonald's, can't finish to save his life. But then, of course, he scored against PSG because, he's Gnabry. I think, I hope Tuchel coming in is, a genuine change for players like Gnabry and Sané. Maybe that's what they need. That's all they need. Tuchel, given that speech he gave to that one Mainz player, forgot Tuchel coach Mainz, man. Him giving that speech he gave to that player to Gnabry or something would be pretty good. Didn't Thomas Tuchel coach Dortmund to a Pokal win? So, yes, he has a record, right? He did something in the Bundesliga. 300 subs away from 10K. We're 9.7. Oh, you mean 30? Yeah, man. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. We're trying to get to 10K. We need a Seamhen this summer. Open wallet. Bayern, we need that guy. Oh, here's another point. We will have to back Tuchel. I mean, we know he's a short-term coach. So if he's here for a year and he doesn't win anything, he's going to want a player like for himself, Florian Wirtz or something. He might. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, boys and girls, it's been a good stream. As of today, Touched is an upgrade. Tuchel is an upgrade in comparison to Nagelsmann. Do you guys really believe that? Sinem is heading to Manchester. That's a possibility. I love how your pictures, Gallo and Simhen. Gosh, man, that name is interesting. Yeah, no, I whatever. I don't think he's the ideal striker. Harry Kane is still my number one. But if Kane keeps thinking breaking Alan Shearer's record is more important than winning trophies and building a legacy of greatness, then stay at Spurs another few years and be a freaking twat, as the British will say. But if you want to come to the big boy leagues and do something outrageous, win some trophies for once in your damn career, then yeah, you're welcome here. This guy already has 21 goals, 2 assists. Conte really ruined his playmaking ability. Kane has wasted 3 years at Spurs. Like with Pochettino, like they were getting to Champions League finals, like they were doing something. It felt like they could win, like they could actually like build something meaningful. But then Mourinho came in and did nothing. Dang, we cooked. You guys remember that Spurs game? When did they sack Pochettino? Was it 2019? Yeah, it was 2019 because I remember that was the year Liverpool won it. And then we won in 2020, and then we cooked Spurs 7-2. Kane had some goals, man. Yeah. One Champions League goal is a record low for him since 2017. Dude, interestingly enough, Tottenham would have been better off just winning a Europa League. But they always lose. It's the history of the Tottenham. You think they're about to win? They never win. We believe in the history. Bro. Yo, freaking Chiellini said it. And Conte, bro, what's with these Italians and cooking Spurs, man? What's with these Italians? Wait, Conte's still at Spurs? Okay, you guys think Nagelsmann goes to Spurs? I'd love to see him there, but he'd be ruining his time. Like, he should go to Chelsea. We should like swap managers. He would fit at Chelsea with all them attackers and defenders they have. They have a lot of robotic footballers. Nagelsmann would probably fit in at Chelsea because they could play 4 formations in 1 week, and that's the kind of coach he is. So Chelsea should just sack Harry Potter. I'm sorry, what's his first name? Yeah, Graham Potter. I really said Harry Potter. Yeah, they should sack Graham Potter and bring in Nagelsmann. It would work for their team. It's a young team. It just needs someone that's a crackhead like Pep, like Nagelsmann, to just experiment every week. Yeah, man. And then they could sack him. But Nagelsmann shouldn't waste his time at a club like Spurs because Real Madrid would be available. Julian Nagelsmann could go to Real Madrid. Guys, like, this is not a joke. He's a good coach. He could go to Real Madrid. Barcelona could sack Gavi because Gavi runs that club. That freaking no ability having Mother Zucker. They could sack somebody and bring him in. Hello, Rahat. Cryptical. Conte himself wants Conte out. Oh, man. Conte said, sack me, and they haven't sacked him. It's a downgrade from Bayern to Spurs. Nagelsmann's girlfriend works for Bill. Dude, why would you? And she's not even like a baddie, you know? Like, I wouldn't. Julian Nagelsmann's girlfriend. She's ugly, man. No. I shouldn't say that. But, bro, it's one of those things you look at it and you go, bro, as long as you're happy, you know? Like, nah, bro, she must have leaked them tactics. Oh, what am I doing? Bro, she's not a baddie, man. I'm a female connoisseur, man. I know my baddies when I see them. She ain't one of them, you know? She's foofy, you know? She's in between. She must be giving my man some amazing like other things that does. Bro, look, man, you really gonna lose at Bayern for this? Like, she looked like Thomas Muller's horses, man. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking. L me in the chat, man. I'm just joking. But, dang, man. I didn't think I'd see someone with a longer nose than me. My nose isn't long, it's just large. But dang, man. Nah. As long as you're happy, bro. As long as you're happy. She must have a great personality. That's all I'm saying. FC Bayern, Deutscher Meister, Stunde Students. Why does the lit not start for Netherlands? Oh, he had a virus. Yeah, man. I don't know if it's COVID, but it went around the Dutch camp, and now everyone has it. All right, boys. Thank you everyone so much for watching. see what happens, right? Someone says my memory is short term like a fish. I don't remember how bad we played against Leverkusen. No, we played bad, but we didn't play sackable bad. We have had some bad performances, but we've had some great performances, you know? We cooked in some games. We love Nagelsmann, but we shouldn't be blind to accept the fact that Bayern is a size bigger for young coach Nagelsmann. Maybe he could come back here in a few years. Now, here, I'll add another coach to the list who we think, he could come back here someday. You know, if the board just doesn't exist. Yeah. Bayern's, you know what I read? It looks like Oliver Kahn was behind the sack. And Oliver Kahn, I think ever since that Dortmund result, where Kahn went, he almost, the calm and composed CEO Kahn went back to his goalkeeper ways. He was pissed. So it looks like Tuchel will be presented tomorrow as the new coach with Oliver Kahn and Hassan Salihamidzic. So we might do another live stream tomorrow. My mind might be different. And we'll see what happens. Good luck to Julian Nagelsmann. You know, he is an inspiring figure. Literally, I'd imagine myself being a manager one day just because, you know, I would see Nagelsmann and it just made me think like, man, I could be a manager. If he's a manager, he's young, anyone could have that opportunity. But maybe in 10 years when he's mature, because it's not over for him, you know? He has a lot of learning to do. He just got sacked with a great record. So that means clubs are going to want him. I don't really know. Let's look at his transfer market. No, this is good. This is good learning experience for Nagelsmann. He just learned that you can literally gather 2.31 points a game, 84 Bundesliga games, majority of wins, almost flawless Champions League record, apart from a big loss to Villarreal and away to Salzburg. This dude has won almost every game. You know, and a lot, like, I mean, really, it's Bayern that did it. But at some point, you know, he won a title. Like, he won a Bundesliga. But he can do something. He could do something, man. He could do a nice little Real Madrid. But advice to Nagelsmann: quit playing 10 formations every week. It doesn't work. Play young players. Your job as a manager isn't just to win games and get results. Your job is to build a club, build a system, an identity. We didn't really have an identity. Like, you couldn't tell me how is Bayern going to play today? Because you didn't know. We could have played defensive. We could have played offensive. We could have played in the middle. There was no identity. Dang it. Griezmann already scored, and I'm missing it. Screw you guys, man. Thank you ever so much for watching. Mia, and peace. Hit the like button, by the way. Hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes.